Hey.
Nice for you to join us this time.
Greetings and a warm welcome to an auspicious day. Yes, it's the Green Fleet 100, but more importantly, five EV Café members, including Johnny Berry. Yay! This is the 10 o'clock news from the EV Café, brought to you even this week by those lovely people at Churchill Insurance. Just relax and Churchill. I am John Curtis, and today we've got Sarah, Sam, Paul, and the Berry. So get a cuppa and plug in for the latest in clean transport and sustainability news. We'll look at stories including a phoenix is rising at the ex-British Volt plant, a big increase in new car registrations, a cheeky little roving reporter slot from Paul Kirby at Green 2 Delivery, electric HGVs can put on a few pounds, electric minis from Britain taking a giant leap, and as I say, the Green Fleet 100 most influential in fleet will be announced shortly by yours truly. And so far, we are loving the numbers 92, 91, and 54, and maybe more. But first, something far more serious than this is the earthquake disaster relief efforts in Turkey and Syria. The unimaginable plight of citizens of both countries defies description, and to assist in a small way, we've made a donation as the EV Café to the relief funds being raised by DEC, the Disasters Emergency Committee, coordinating on behalf of 15 UK charities to ensure that the maximum amount of money gets to the front line where it's so desperately needed. Please donate whatever you're able to www.dec.org.uk. That's dec.org.uk. And yes, the price of a coffee can help. Please do something. Thank you. So let's start with an Australian firm, Recharge Industries, being named as the preferred bidder for British Volt. Brilliant news. UK battery startup, which planned to build a £3.8 billion gigafactory in Blyth, entered administration last month with about 300 staff made redundant with immediate effect. Recharge Industries, which is owned by New York fund Scale Facilitation Partners, has entered an agreement to buy British Volt's business and assets, according to the accountancy firm EY. Completion of the acquisition is expected to occur within the next 7 days, we understand. Jordan Roberts, analyst at Fast Markets Newgen, said it's not surprising that British Volt has attracted a number of potential buyers, but perhaps a little surprising it's not gone to one of a number of British bidders. However, few can have complaints if it provides the necessary injection to progress into production, vital to securing the future of the UK car manufacturing industry. And so say all of us, a gigafactory's more than just a battery plant, it's a statement of intent from Team UK. Sarah, you must be frothing about this.
Well, I am pleased, but I'm one of those people that kind of believes it when I see it. But I am pleased it's an Australian investor. I've been following with great interest how Australia are tackling this problem. We know a lot of the mines are already in Australia, so that they've seen the sort of raw end of this situation. So I can see some kind of massive global supply chain happening. But what I don't know is whether anybody else is going to swoop in sideways. You've just got to Google it, and there's lots of other people who are raising their hands.
Yeah, which is great news for the industry. We're going to talk now about car registrations. So can I say, Johnny, Sam, be on standby for comment. The Fleet and Business new car registrations were up by more than a third in January compared to the start of last year. Newly published sales data suggests the figures from the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders show that 72,355 new company cars were registered to fleet businesses last month, 37% more than 52,750 units in January. Overall, 132,000 new cars were registered during the month, a 14.7 year-on-year increase, with fleet and business sales equating to 55% of the market. It's still below 2019 levels, pre-COVID, but healthy signs there, Johnny. Are you feeling that in Novuna?
Yeah, we've seen, we've the latest reports from Novuna. We're at sort of a good 15% of our fleets are pure electric vehicles now from Novuna. But most importantly from that statistics, I believe the number to be 20% increase year on year on battery electric vehicles. which makes it, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, because I can't remember, it was a few days ago I saw the statistics, but is it 13% total market share now? With battery electric vehicles, so slightly down from December, but Tesla kind of done their thing in December. The other things that I picked out from the statistics is diesel was down by 11%. That's good. Plug-in hybrids only up by 1%, which is probably good. Not seeing such an increase over the year, but not so good that hybrid is up by considerable amount. And to be honest, I sort of say hybrid, petrol, put them in the same camp, to be honest. And I think that was approaching nearly 50% year on year. So not so good news there. The things I will say, though, is things like lack of interoperability, things that we've been struggling for a long time, rising energy costs, the recent news stories, the FUD news stories, shall I say, fear, uncertainty and doubt, unfairness in the community, all needs to be addressed. Otherwise, we do see risk of things slowing down a little bit for battery electric vehicles. So, Sam, have you got any extra comments that you'd like to add?
Not particularly, John. I think you've done quite a good job there, to be honest, mate. It looks like the stats are going in the right direction. Hybrid 1%. I'd love that to be negative going forward. It still boils my blood, as it did just this morning when I was sat in my car taking my kids to school, and I was told to buy a self-charging electric hybrid. I'm like, it's just lies. So please, I wish that the trade descriptions people would ban that sort of phraseology, as they have done in other European countries, to dissuade people from buying vehicles which they've been conned into.
Are you telling me that this doesn't work? I've got this side and I've got the end. Can I not just do that? It just sort of self-powers.
That's it, Johnny. And if you sprinkle a bit of unicorn dust on the top of it, then it'll be working better. Yeah, that's good. That's
right.
Good.
Enough of this. Enough of this,
John.
you
Sorry,
two. I think I can feel a campaign coming on, though, that self-charging hybrid needs to be made a term that should not be used in the automotive sector. Let's see if we can do that, shall we? Anyway, it's time for that nice Mr. Kirby, because he's been out and about and he's been videoing some stuff. So, with a bit of luck, Producer Joe, run VT.
Oh, God.
Hey, everybody, it's Paul Kirby reporting for EV Café News. Our sponsors have arrived here at the Green 2 delivery event, and I'm going to call in Lee Sibley, COO and joint founder. Come in, Lee, come in and tell me.
How you doing? You all
Good
right?
to see you, man.
Lovely to see you too.
So tell me, Lee, what is going on here today?
So basically today what we're doing is we're showcasing the charging concept of our business. So our vehicles will be going out, they'll be doing deliveries, zero emissions.
Brilliant.
And while the chargers are not being used here, we're enabling other fleets to come in and use the chargers.
Commercial vehicle fleets?
Commercial vehicles, vans, we love vans. So basically anyone that's delivering or anyone that's having to work around the locations that there isn't rapid chargers available, hopefully our depots, our future depots, will be able to give them the availability of a charge.
And that's brilliant. Lee, what is the big picture? So Green 2 delivery here in Saffron Walden at the moment, but where tomorrow?
Yeah, so in the short term, the answer is that we open up a CDC in the Midlands.
A CDC?
A CD, Central Distribution Centre.
Thank you.
In the Midlands. And our future goal after that would then be to create a network of hubs throughout the UK to do 100% zero emission deliveries.
So that's the future, 100% zero emissions across the whole country.
Correct, yeah, including HGVs like we've got here for the trunking in between the depots, and then the last mile delivery vehicles as well. And also, and the main thing is opening our gates for other fleets to be able to come and charge.
See, a really unique proposition. The guys are really thinking not just about your own fleet and your own operation, but the wider commercial vehicle market. Really cute thinking and a really big difference. So these guys, you're after some help, some support financially. You can invest in Green 2 delivery. Get in touch.
Thank you.
Back to you in the studio, guys.
Wow. And I think Linda Graves says it so well. She says, this is so good. Well done, Lee Sibley. She also said, Paul Kirby looks taller in real life. You had a good time there, Paul, yeah?
Do you know what? It was brilliant. It was great to see just a real coming together of lots of different people across industry. Rob Lubinsky was there from Octopus Energy. You know, they're already talking about investing. There's others that are, you know, interested in supporting this business. It's a tremendous operation which will cover the country with HGVs, vans, and opening up to small business fleets locally in every location. It was great. Fantastic.
Brilliant. Good effort. Thank you for doing that, Paul. Say a few shout outs to Rick Nimbley, Dave Bushnell, bless his heart, Colin Hennessy, hi Colin, Lloyd Allen, Steve Hamer, Michael Anderson, Andy Hill, Scott Bradley, and Carlo Zaccali, Chief Exec at Farnborough, where we're doing the ITT Hub as media partners, and they'll be showcasing low emission, zero emission HGVs. Now then, the government's published draft legislation that outlines new weight limits for electric and alternatively fuelled HGVs. The statutory instrument provides a gross vehicle weight limit increase of 2 tonnes for zero emission vehicles and up to 1 tonne for certain alternatively fuelled vehicles. The relevant vehicles are HGVs. No additional weight allowance will apply above the existing maximum of 44 tonnes. The maximum weight limits for individual axles will also remain unchanged. And that's a little bit of a bone of contention. But this is to allow for batteries and drivetrains which are heavier and impact on the payload. Paul, you're a big payload man. This has got to be good news.
It is good news. It's been around for a little bit. But it's I mean, particularly at 3.5 tons, the vans getting the extra 3/4 of a ton, 750 kilos to 4.25 has been amazing, and really helped businesses increase their productivity. And of course, companies like Volta, Teva coming to market with battery electric vehicles, and also Mercedes, as we saw there, getting that extra dispensation to mitigate the impact and maximize the efficiency of those vehicles is brilliant.
Now then, BMW are apparently in talks with the UK government over a £75 million grant to build the electric Mini in the UK. Now, I know there will be skeptics in the house, so Sam, on standby. Sarah, have a think about this one, because it's not a done deal. It's just a chat. The German car makers negotiating the £75 million grant from the Automotive Transformation Fund that would deliver guaranteed production of electric Minis at Cowley in Oxfordshire. The EV Café News has learned that BMW is negotiating with officials at BAYS. And this will come from that Automotive Transformation Fund. Industry sources said a deal could be finalised between the government and the company within weeks. One added that the package will be worth 75 million, appear to have has support from both Grant Shapps, the at the time business secretary, and Jeremy Hunt, the chancellor. Grant Shapps was recently appointed Secretary of State for the Department for Energy Security and Net Zero, something we massively applaud and was overdue. And this move is unlikely to dent support for that deal. It's a great news story, and it goes on the back of stories from Nissan and Ford that have both announced new investments in their UK facilities in the last year, with the latter, Ford, saying that in December it would spend 150 million at its Halewood plant in Liverpool to expand production of electric vehicle parts. Sam, it's not a done deal, this Mini thing, but again, it's indicative of investment in the UK and building our automotive sector out.
Yeah, it is exactly what I was going to say. You know, it's really good, promising stuff. You know, none of this is a done deal. In the same way that the embers of the British Volt deal is not a done deal either, as Sarah alluded to before. But there's been some criticism on LinkedIn, etc., about it not being a British firm that's bought it. But you know, look at the investment we're getting from around the world. What's wrong with that? You know, it's an Australian company backed by Americans that is trying to put money into physical product in the UK. You know, and the likes of the German companies, the BMW or the Japanese Nissan, whatever, that have all got huge established plants in the UK, and they're wanting to grow that. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's carry that on. And who is that in the background?
The voice of the future, I think. There's a child somewhere.
Yeah, it's my little one. Apologies all.
Enjoy going on mute, Johnny.
Is this
Little Barry kicking off.
Mute button, it means the noise goes away.
Although it was a perfect segue to what I wanted to say, which is that near about 10 miles from where I grew up was a huge Honda manufacturing facility near Swindon. And that was the lifeblood for everyone. There's still people who are my age now who still live there now because they became apprentices, then senior managers, and then grew whole teams. Now, when that shut, that was a disaster for the neighbouring 3 counties, which pulled a 50 to 60 mile radius of people trying to commute just to work there because the opportunities were immeasurable in terms of involvement, learning on the job. And so it inspires a community to kind of pull together. So I don't really care where the originator bio comes from. If it's creating jobs here in the UK with fantastic precedent set for the rest of the world, I'm all for it.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm in
absolutely.
Liverpool as we speak, and Halewood just down the road. I grew up going to Halewood and seeing the Ford factory. So, you know, it would have been terrible to see that lack investment. And of course, Ellesmere Port is not very far away, and Stellantis are heavily invested in keeping Ellesmere Port, particularly for battery electric vehicles.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. Inward investment has got to be good, and we need to be better at that to drive forward the policies and the approach that the UK needs to take for net zero. Now then, Green Fleet 100 is starting today at 11 o'clock. I'll be announcing the winners of the most influential in the fleet industry with our very own noisy daddy, Johnny Berry, at 92, me at 91, and Paul Kirby at 54. The league table of EV superstars is set on firm foundations. How Sam and Sarah have fared, we'll have to wait and see. Sponsored by Optimize, formerly known as the Algorithm People, this is an annual homage to the great and the good of the fleet industry that have worked hard to reduce emissions from fleets. Join me at 11. Register before then. Just go onto Google, search Green Fleet 100 registration, fill in the registration document, and you can join us for the Green Fleet 100. Paul, you must be absolutely buzzing to be 54, bearing in mind that you are 54 and you just talk about vans.
Wow.
Do you know what? That is absolutely true. I hadn't made that connection. I'm 54 and I'm 54. But it's only going to go up then. Well, that's not good. Anyway, I was
down.
Absolutely... Well, yeah, down, yeah, as in the number will go up.
And John, you're 91, aren't you?
Yeah. Can I just say, you can shut it, old man, at 92.
Yeah. Anyway, I was very chuffed. Thank you, John.
Colin's in the house.
very
Hi, Colin.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thanks, Colin.
Yay, Colin.
There we are. So Colin's put the link in the chat box on LinkedIn. So if you want to come and join us at 11 o'clock this morning, that is 43 minutes time to find out who the great and the good are and who we crown number one in the Green Fleet 100. Come along, register, give these guys a shout, and let's do this thing. Now then, if you have any clean transport, PR, or news stories you'd like us to cover, please send them to us at hello@evcafe.org. We're back on Wednesday next week with a special webinar called EVs, Love or Hate, because it's Valentine's Day and that sort of thing the day before. So don't miss it. Registration details on LinkedIn or on our page, www.evcafe.org. Thank you kindly. Until next Friday, it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from them. This has been an EV Cafe production brought to you this week by Churchill Insurance. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Other sustainability news services are available, but this is just fun.
Oh, hi, Colin.
You're
Yeah, it was a mistake, was it? Supposed to be number one, was I? All right. Even mistake. Look at that shit.
Yeah. Do you remember when Joe Dolce was number one and everybody said, good grief, how did that happen? Anyway, the EV Cafe News is regulated by Big Stuart Interval, Sparky from My Energy, Tucker from the AA, installed by EV Civils, monitored by Geotab, and insured by Churchill. Oh, yes. We are the EV Cafe, supporting the transition to clean transport. Until next Wednesday. Bye-bye. See you later.
See you all.
Are we done?
John,